go.
I didn't say you go. I didn't say ever you go. I never said no.
You did.
I said I don't want to be with you. I know what I said.
So what does that mean, Mahmoud?
I'm just mad, Nicole. It's just word. I didn't mean.
Boom, bam. I said this last week and I'll say it again. This man is fully on manipulation mode. This guy was trying to play reverse psychology. He flat out said last week, I don't want to be with you no more. And at the end of the day, Nicole's called him up on it. And as you can see, he's now denying that he said that. He's only denying he said that, or at least changing his mind because it didn't work out the way he thought it would work. He thought that if he said to her, okay, well, she just shouldn't be together, blah, 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 she would come chasing straight after him. And it backfired hard, which shows a lot of proof that maybe he just doesn't know the woman that he married.
I didn't mean that.
This works, okay? I don't know, I'm just like, you can't play games with people.
I don't play games, Nicole, and you know that, okay?
You are the biggest game player.
I just love the way she called out his game playing. He loves to play games. He loves to manipulate, or at least attempt to manipulate. But unlucky for him, Nicole isn't so easy to walk all over. She isn't exactly a doormat. At the end of the day, you know, he tries and he backfires after he backfires. And to be honest with you, the thing that I really don't understand with this man is that he says in this episode, okay, that he knows that because she's an American woman, maybe she's better suited for an American man. And because he's Egyptian, maybe he's better suited for an Egyptian woman. But he loves her, so he's going to continue with her rather than let her go. When he said that, I was like, so didn't you just basically say that you two don't belong together because you are both too different? That you want someone that's more Egyptian and you think that she'd be better for someone more American because you two share differences that just don't make your relationship applicable. But yeah, he goes, but I love her, so I'm not gonna let her go. You know when people speak and you're thinking to yourself, what the hell are you actually saying? Do you hear yourself? Because you clearly don't hear yourself, because if you did hear yourself, well then you would have probably let her go. But let's continue.
If this fight happened in America, there's no way I would be going over to see anybody, not my family, not my uncle, not anybody. But
so now they have to go and meet Mahmoud's uncle because Nicole wants to start her own little fashion business. But obviously, you know, right now, because they just had a heated argument, clearly she does not want to go. But of course, like she said, because she's not in America, it's not as simple as 1, 2, 3. So of course, she's got to go and sadly for herself play. The hell was, oh boy, I just got attacked in my ear. Damn. But anyway, for Nicole now, she obviously has to go and play Happy Family. She's not happy with the fact that she has to play Happy Family. I mean, to be honest, her description is pretty much saying that she feels like she's now in a prison because she is in a country where she has no one. And also on top of that, she now has to follow everything that I guess has to be done to respectful to the family. Otherwise, it will cause issues, you know what I mean? Which sucks a lot because for me personally, would I want to be in a situation where I feel like I can't breathe? I feel like I can't even have my own time to de-escalate, but I feel like I still have to keep up appearances just to make sure everybody thinks everything's a-okay when in reality, everything is not. That sucks, man. But I think this is why people need to be so careful and we need to think so much more about leaving a location for another location, knowing that in that location, you're not going to know anyone. But this is based on the fact that you're moving from one location to live with someone and their people, knowing that you have no one. It's different maybe if you are, like, for example, I moved from one location to another location all by myself, right? And I know no one here, but that's different because I did it all by I did it all on my own accord. And also I live with myself and I look after myself, right? But when you're moving into someone else's home, someone else's this and that, and you have no one on site who you know, it must not feel great. You must legit feel like you're in a prison, especially when things aren't going right. And sadly for Nicole, she just has to play Happy Family because, you know, she doesn't want to disappoint the uncles and embarrass them. But hey, we continue.
My uncle asked why you choose this kind of clothes to do.
You know what I really respect though about Nicole? I feel like I'm the only person that actually gives Nicole the benefit of the doubt. Everybody else just literally just wants to grow her. But anyway, one thing that I really appreciate here is that she's in the country where she knows that she cannot wear what she wants to wear. So therefore, she's going to design clothes that she wants to wear, but also can be acceptable because it's going to cover up everything that Mahmoud has requested that she keeps covered up, right? And that's pretty much her skin. So to be honest with you, the fact that she's gone on her way to design this is actually quite phenomenal. I mean, to be fair, it actually reminds me because there is a two Asian sisters, or they could be Arabic, I'm not too sure, but they've actually designed their own clothing line, to be fair, you know, that is more fashionable for people of their culture, for their religion, where it's obviously they're all covered up, but it's got a bit more of a, some of their stuff is a bit more sporty, some of their stuff is a bit more this and that, you know what I mean? It's an amazing fashion line, you know. And you know, and nowadays you get companies like that, like Gymshark, who got customized own versions of like hijabs and all that kind of stuff. So when you're seeing fashion changing, and you're seeing people now making fashion clothes for women that are Muslim and they have to cover themselves up and all that kind of stuff, it's stuff that you look at, I'm thinking, man, this is dope. I'm surprised no one thought of this sooner. But either way, though, Nicole's trying to do the same thing here. You know what I mean? Trying to, you know, instead of fighting against the odds, she's trying to embrace the odds, which I think is phenomenal. You know, but you know, even when you try and do something good, there's always going to be a question of something. And, well, let's get to that.
Mahmoud's uncle changes the subject to why I don't cover my hair anymore.
I don't answer because what I really wanted to tell them is that
Religion is very personal, and it's...
So this is the part that's a bit sticky, and there's no way you can defend her at this point. But Nicole converted on her own accord. But she does follow up by saying that the confusion she has since convert is, well,
It's nobody's business why I'm not wearing the veil anymore.
so I don't want to be rude.
Beyond that, I'm mad at Mahmoud. I don't even want to be here right now.
My apologies. I thought that was a scene when she was going to write down, she was going to say why she converted and why she's having a struggle with X, Y, Z. So yeah, give me a sec.
To convert to Islam, that was my choice.
But sometimes I get confused because I don't know if it's actually like Islam that I'm having a crisis with, or if it's like Mahmoud's rules. They kind of get like all mixed up together.
If I
You see, this is where the problem lies, isn't it? I mean, it's good that she converted on her own accord, but also at the same time, it's bad that she converted without doing full research on becoming a Muslim woman. Do you know what I mean? Okay, converting to Islam is one thing, but then doing the research to understand what it's like to be a Muslim woman is a whole different ballgame. That is where she has failed herself. Now, also in this video here, the uncle does say, have you taught her to pray yet? You know, and that is something that Mahmoud has failed at, because he's cared more about what she wears rather than, you know, teaching her how to pray. Because obviously once you become Muslim, it's important that you know how to pray and how the whole thing works, right? But at the end of the day, the question is though, is Mahmoud adding things in that doesn't actually involve the religion per se? Because obviously I understand that like you can get Muslims in all around the world in different countries, but not every Muslim practices the same. And not every Muslim lives in the same culture, because, you know, I'm pretty sure the culture of Muslims in Egypt isn't the same culture as Muslims in India, you know, give or take, right? So at the end of the day, does Nicole bring up the good question of like, well, I don't know what's going on, because this guy is telling me one thing, but then da-da-da-da-da. If you ask me, the fact that he prioritized what she wore over teaching her to pray says a lot. But hey, we continue.
اللي داخل الاسلام دوت ما ناخدوش بالعافيه، لازم نعرفه يمشي ازاي، امتى يلبس وامتى يقلع وامتى يبقى كويس، لكن في حاجات فرايض ما ينفعش نلعب فيها.
Don't pressure. Don't pressure. It's interesting because Mahmoud definitely gets schooled right here by his uncle, you know, by the fact that he's prioritizing the wrong things. Why are you caring so much about her clothes? Praying matters more. You have an obligation to teach your wife how to be a Muslim woman, you know, how to be a part of us. But yeah, instead you're prioritizing things that are just... And to make it worse, you shouldn't be forcing anything onto her. Take it slowly, let it happen. Told you, Mahmoud is controlling. He's been exposed.
I still don't know how to tell Mahmoud that I'm questioning my faith and whether or not it's right for me.
You know, I do wonder though, is she now questioning her faith because of the amount of pressure that Mahmoud has put on her? Or is she questioning the faith because she simply didn't do research enough beforehand, and now it's like all coming in as a bit too much? I mean, that would explain the confusion, right? That she has.
Because I think it would jeopardize our relationship. It's already like teetering, like on the brink of collapse, right? And I feel like my marriage would be over.
To be honest with you, it would be a blessing in disguise. Your marriage is shambolic. Tell me otherwise. But hey, you guys let me know what you're thinking down below in the comment section and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, sub, and of course, peace.